Over the years, this trunk cover has become warped, so we're gonna fix it. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Pandy out here with my Maserati Gran Turismo, and you can see here that this trunk cover, the upper portion here, is warped. This car has been sitting around for a long time, so heat and age has just kind of made this front panel here that's molded vertically kind of just to loosen up and hang. And it's really kind of ugly because when you open up the trunk, it's one of the first things you see. So I wanted to replace it. So to remove this panel, the first thing we have to do is come up here, and there are two screws that hold it in. And the first thing you'll have to do are these little black plastic tabs that hide the screws have to be pried off. Now, I was able to get one off with a flathead screwdriver, but I needed a pair of pliers to actually rip the other one off. So you're gonna have to pry those off first. Next, there are some screws that hold this panel into the top here. Once you get all of those out, there's actually another hole that's held in here. So you have to take this panel down. And the way you're gonna have to do this is a little bit of work. You're gonna have to use a pry tool, like one of those nylon pry tools, to pull out these plugs right there. Now I'm using one of these nylon pry tools to get in here and pull this grommet out. Comes out just like that. Let's see what that looks like. So it's going to deform it a little bit. That's going to make it a lot easier to pull away these panels. Now you don't have to totally remove this panel. You got to pull it down. But now you can see the other little grommet that's holding it in back there and back there. So you're going to use your pry tool to pry those out as well. And don't forget to remove the light here. You can see there's a little tab that presses in, and then this connector will pull out. And then you can remove the board. All right, to finish this up, we're gonna install this new panel. I actually bought this brand new because it was actually the same price as all the ones from breakers and junkyards. I ordered it from Scuderia Parts. I will say that it took a while to get, so it's not something I think they inventory, but the nice thing about it, it was $92, which I think is a really good value, and I know that it's going to be the right OEM shape as well as the right color match. So let's go ahead and just reverse everything we did. We're gonna wanna make sure that we put in the light here and then put this thing back together and see if it's better.
Several days later.
Well, the devil's in the details. You just gotta do a lot of little things like tuck the board into the right places here. Obviously put back those screws. The light seems to be working fine. Tuck everything back under the moldings. But I tell you what, obviously we don't have that big gap anymore, which is actually the whole point of this exercise. So replacing it makes it look factory perfect. I don't have this big gap that's staring at me. I know it's not a big thing, but it's one of those things when you open the trunk, it's the first thing you see, and it just kind of says, hey, what else on this car is not up to spec? So replaced it. I think it looks great. $92. Hey, pretty easy weekend fix. Order the part before you start tearing it apart, because I would say it took me 5 or 6 weeks to get it. Hey, if you want to do this on your own, now you know how. And of course, I'd love for you to check out the other videos on this car. Peter Von Panda, out.